The great hall of Zelther 5 buzzed with voices from many species. It was a peace conference between humans and several alien races. Soldiers, leaders, and scientists moved around, shaking hands and sharing words. Among them stood a young alien girl named Valari. She was from the Theran race, elegant, tall, with glowing markings on her skin, and a crystal embedded in her palm. That crystal was a soulmate indicator, something every Theran was born with. But Valari's had been dark all her life. She believed it would stay that way forever. Valari didn't want to be there. She was only a translator in training, sent to observe. But her heart was restless. The hall was loud, full of strange smells and sights. And then, she saw him, a human soldier. He wasn't wearing any flashy medals, no fancy armor. Just simple black clothes, a backpack, and tired eyes. He looked out of place, just like her. He was standing near the drink station, trying to figure out the alien labels on the cups. Valari told herself not to stare. But her eyes didn't listen. As she turned away, someone bumped into her from behind. She lost balance and stumbled forward. "Whoa, careful!" A voice said in front of her. A warm hand caught her arm. His hand. Her eyes widened. Her heart froze. A jolt shot through her arm, like lightning, but not painful. It was warm, alive. The moment his skin touched hers, the crystal in her palm blinked. Soft, blue, glowing, alive. Valari stared at her hand, then up at him. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. "Are you okay?" the human asked. He looked confused, maybe even worried. Yes, I... Valari stepped back quickly, hiding her hand behind her. She turned and walked away fast. No, she ran. Inside a quiet hallway, Valari leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Her hand shook. The crystal was still glowing. She had waited her whole life for this, but it wasn't supposed to be like this. Not with a human. That was impossible. Her people believed soulmates came only from their own kind. No Theran had ever bonded with a human before. It was just wrong. Was her crystal broken? Or was something else happening? She looked down at her hand. The blue glow pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. "This isn't real," she whispered. "It can't be." Back in the main hall, the human Liam watched her leave. That alien girl had looked so shocked. Did he do something wrong? He was just trying to help her. She looked like she was about to fall. Her skin had felt strange, warm and smooth, but it was the look in her eyes that stayed with him. Like she had seen something impossible. He rubbed his hand. It still felt warm where he touched her. But he shook it off. Maybe he just surprised her. That night, Valari sat alone in her room, staring at her hand. The crystal still glowed faintly. She had tried to wash it, tried to cover it. Nothing worked. Her mind was racing. If anyone saw it, they would ask questions. Her family would be ashamed. Her teachers would think she was making it up. No Theran had a human as a soulmate ever. Her door beeped. It was her roommate, Rin, also a Theran girl. "You okay?" "You ran off today." Valari didn't answer at first. Then she said, "My crystal." It lit up. Rin's eyes went wide. "Wait, what? Who touched you?" Valari whispered. "A human." Silence. Then Rin laughed. "No, seriously, who? I told you. A human, a soldier. He caught me when I fell." Rin stared at her, then slowly sat down. That's not possible." "I know, but look." Valari held up her hand. The soft blue light was still there, like a star under her skin. Rin's voice dropped. "If the council finds out, they'll say your bond is false. They might exile you." Valari felt a chill go through her. But it felt real, like something inside me woke up. Rin looked at her, serious now. "You have to stay away from him. Don't even look at him again." Valari nodded, but her heart said something else. The next morning, Liam stood outside the training area. He kept looking at the doors, hoping to see that alien girl again. He didn't even know her name, but something about that touch felt different. And miles away, Valari stood behind a tall pillar, watching him quietly. She told herself to leave, but her feet wouldn't move because the crystal in her hand was glowing again. Asterisk. You touched him again, didn't you? Valari spun around. Her friend Rin stood in the doorway of their shared room, arms crossed, eyes sharp. Valari's heart jumped. No, I mean I saw him, but I didn't touch him. Rin walked in and shut the door behind her. Then why is your soulmate crystal glowing again? Valari looked down at her palm. It was true. Even without physical contact, the soft blue light had returned the moment she saw the human soldier from across the hallway. No one touched her, no skin met skin, but still, it glowed, and it terrified her. I don't know what's happening, Valari whispered. I didn't even get close. Rin sat beside her, her voice now low and serious. This isn't a small thing. Valari, we were taught all our lives soulmate indicators don't lie. And if yours is reacting to a human, I'll be cast out, Valari said softly. They'll say I'm defective. Across the compound, Liam stood by a window, watching the sunrise over the alien horizon. The sky was violet and orange, with twin moons slowly fading. But his mind was not on the sky. It was on her, that alien girl with silver blue skin and nervous eyes. She had run away after their first touch like she had seen a ghost. And yesterday, during training, he saw her again hiding behind the columns, watching him. He wasn't angry. He was curious. Why was she so scared of him? Why did she seem hurt? And most of all, why did he feel like she had something important to tell him but couldn't? Later that day, Valari tried her best to avoid him. She took the longer path through the garden tunnels. She skipped her translator classes just to dodge the chance of seeing him in the hall. She covered her palm with a silver glove, but the more she ran, the more she felt him, even from far away. Her soulmate indicator started to glow, softly, gently, as if calling to him. She stood frozen in the middle of the corridor, feeling the pulse in her hand like a quiet drum. She whispered to herself, "Why are you doing this to me?" At lunchtime, Liam saw her again. This time she was sitting in the back corner of the food hall, away from everyone. She had her head down, her food untouched. He walked slowly toward her, not wanting to scare her. Valari looked up the moment he stepped near. Their eyes met. Her hand began to glow again, brighter. This time, she gasped and quickly shoved it under the table. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry if I scared you the other day," Liam said quietly. Valari's mouth opened, but no words came out. He sat down across from her. "You don't have to say anything. Just tell me if I did something wrong." Valari shook her head. "No, it's not you, it's me." Liam tilted his head. "Is it the touch?" Something about it felt strange. "I don't know why." Valari's voice trembled. "I'm not supposed to feel this. Not with you. Not with a human." Liam blinked. "Feel what?" She didn't answer. She just stood up and rushed away again. That night, Valari stared out the window, her breath fogging the glass. Everything inside her was a storm. She wasn't supposed to feel drawn to a human. She wasn't supposed to hide from her own heart. But when he looked at her, she felt safe. When he spoke, her chest warmed. And when he touched her, her soul answered. Far away. Liam couldn't sleep either. He wrote a message on his communicator, then deleted it, then wrote it again. He finally whispered, "I need to know her name." The next day, Valari's teacher gave her a surprise assignment. She was to accompany a human soldier to the outer farms for translation work. When the door opened, Liam walked in. Both of them froze. She whispered, "No." He smiled slowly. "Hello again." Her heart pounded, and her glove started glowing so bright now. The silver shimmer couldn't hide it. She clenched her fist, but it was too late. Liam had seen the light. And now, he was truly curious. He didn't sleep. Not even for a second. Liam sat alone on the quiet rooftop under the alien moonlight, replaying that moment over and over. Her hand had glowed again when he entered the room. And this time, it wasn't just a flicker dot, it was bright, alive. Like it recognized him, like he mattered. He stared at his own hand. Nothing special, no glow, no mark. Just rough skin, small scars, and fingers used to holding weapons, not someone's fate. "Why me?" he whispered dot below. The lights of the compound shimmered. But his thoughts stayed on her, on the girl who looked at him like he was either her destiny or her biggest mistake. Elsewhere in the quiet facility, Valari sat on the floor of the meditation chamber, arms around her knees, eyes red from crying that she had failed. Her crystal wouldn't stop glowing. No matter how far she ran, no matter how hard she tried to hide, and worse, he saw it. She thought she could control it, deny it. But every time Liam got near, the light flared like her own soul calling out to him. "This is wrong," she told herself. "He's not Theron. He can't be my soulmate." But the glow said otherwise, and deep down, her heart did too. The next morning, Liam requested to see the mission list. Asterisk. Anything with translation assignments. He asked. The officer looked at him strangely. "Since when do you care about plant shipments?" "No reason," Liam said, trying to sound casual. "Just want to learn more about local customs." He didn't say it aloud, but he was hoping she'd be there. He had questions. Too many. And only she had the answers. Meanwhile, Valari stood frozen at the transport station. She saw his name on the mission list again. Liam Maddox. He had been assigned with her to the farm fields outside the city dome. Same shuttle. Same path. Her palms were sweating inside her gloves. She even tried to get her name removed from the list, but it was too late. The pilot waved at her. "Ready to board?" Valari took a deep breath and nodded. This time. There was no escape. Inside the shuttle, they sat in silence. The engines hummed gently. The view outside showed tall, crystal blue trees and distant mountain shapes. Liam finally spoke, voice calm. "Your hand, that glow. I've never seen anything like it." Valari looked down. She didn't answer. "I don't want to hurt you," he continued. I want to understand." Slowly she turned to face him. "It's called a soulmate indicator," she said softly. "All Theron are born with one. It glows only when we are bonded match." Liam's eyes widened. "You're saying I'm that match?" Valari nodded once. Her voice was shaking. "It's never happened before. Not with a human." "And you think it's a mistake?" Liam asked gently. "I don't know what to think," she whispered. "My people will say it's false. They might exile me. Or worse, they'll call it broken." "But what do you feel?" he asked. She looked at him, truly looked at him, and that's when it happened. Her glove began to shimmer again. She slowly pulled it off. The blue light from her crystal danced softly, pointed directly at Liam. "I feel," she said, "drawn to you, like my soul already knows yours." They sat in silence. Neither knew what to say next, but neither looked away. Later that day, while working in the fields, Valari watched Liam laugh with the alien children. He was patient, kind, and full of quiet strength. She had followed him secretly for days, trying to deny the connection. But now she was starting to believe. Maybe it wasn't a mistake. Maybe destiny was more mysterious than her people ever understood. Maybe it had chosen him. That night, as the shuttle flew back under the dark sky, Valari leaned closer and whispered, "If my soulmate crystal is right, then the galaxy is wrong." Liam looked at her, eyes soft. "Then let's prove it." Asterisk, it was supposed to be a simple handshake, one gesture. A friendly show of peace between humans and the Theron. Valari knew the rules. She knew it was forbidden to reveal her bond in front of the council. She knew what would happen if they saw the glow. But when Liam stepped forward at the peace ceremony smiling, calm, respectful, and reached out to shake her hand in front of dozens of leaders. Her soul didn't care about the rules. She touched him, and her soulmate. Crystal burst into full light. Not soft, not quiet. Blazing. Bright. Alive. Wave of blue light flashed from her palm like a signal flare. The room fell silent. Dozens of alien and human eyes turned to her. And in that moment, Valari wished she could disappear. Step away from her, shouted a Theron elder. Guards rushed forward, surrounding Liam instantly. He raised his hands, confused. What did I do? Valari stumbled back, grabbing her wrist, trying to hide the still glowing mark. But it was too late. The council had seen it. Her people had seen it. And her secret was no longer a secret. Minutes later, Valari was dragged into a private chamber. Her father stood there, one of the council's key advisors. His face was pale with fury. You shamed us, he said coldly. You embarrassed the Theron. You let your emotions control you. I didn't mean for it to happen in front of them, Valari said, trembling. That human touched your hand. And your crystal responded, her father said. Are you going to tell me now he's your soulmate? She stayed silent. Her father's eyes narrowed. Then say it's a malfunction. Say it was false. That's the only way we can protect your name, Valari swallowed. I can't lie. I felt it, and it keeps glowing around him. I've tried to hide it, but it won't stop. You are not some love-struck child, he snapped. Soulmate bonds don't cross species. This is a disgrace. You will be removed from service and kept in isolation until the bond fades. Her breath caught. Isolation? Until this shame passes. She clenched her fist. The crystal glowed through her skin. But what if it doesn't fade? She whispered. Her father stared at her silent. Cold. Then he turned his back. Then you are no daughter of mine. Meanwhile, Liam sat in a guarded room. Alone. 2 alien guards stood outside the door. He stared at the table in front of him. No one had explained anything. No one told him what was going on. Just silence. Until the door opened. An old Theron woman stepped inside. She wore layered robes and had silver patterns etched into her skin. Her eyes were ancient. I am Elder Shira, she said calmly. I have questions. Liam nodded. So do I. You touched Valari. You saw her palm glow? Yes, Liam said. I didn't know what it meant. You are human. You are not part of our bonding system. Yet, her crystal has responded to you multiple times. Liam leaned forward. Why does that scare you? The elder looked tired. Because if it's true, it changes everything. Our oldest laws, our beliefs, our pride. She stared into his eyes. Do you care for her? I barely know her, Liam admitted. But when I'm near her, I feel something I've never felt before, and I think she feels it too. The elder nodded slowly. Then she stood up. She's being taken away. Liam stood. What? Where? You are not allowed to see her again. No, he said, heart racing. You can't just take her. She is one of us, the elder said, her voice like stone. And you are not. Later that night, Valari sat alone in a cold chamber, her hands chained not as a prisoner, but as someone under protection. The council claimed, but it felt like prison. She looked up at the stars, beyond the glass wall. And then down at her hand. It still glowed. Still reached for him, her eyes filled with tears. I don't want to forget him. She pressed her glowing palm to the glass. Please, she whispered. Find me. Asterisk, the chains didn't hurt, but her heart did. Valari sat still as a statue, wrists bound with light cuffs, her soulmate crystal glowing like a silent scream. The guards around her said nothing. No one spoke her name anymore. They called her the bonded girl. No trial. No proof, just exile. Unless she agreed to one thing, the ancient soul bond trials. A test that had not been used in over 100 years. A test so dangerous it was mostly legend. And now, They were forcing her into it, because her soulmate indicator had chosen a human. On the other side of the compound, Liam was locked in a room when the old Elder Shira returned. She placed an old metal ring on the table. "What's this?" Liam asked. She looked at him with quiet sorrow. "Your only chance to see her again," she said. "The Soulbond trials." "Trials?" He repeated. "You and Valari must enter the Mind Forge. You will be tested, body, heart, and soul. If the bond is false, it will break you. If it is real, you will survive, maybe." Liam looked down at the ring. "And if we don't do it, she will be exiled, alone, forever." Liam didn't think twice. "I'll do it." They didn't. Let him see her until the trial began. In a massive glowing chamber, deep beneath the Theron Council building, Valari stood in the center of a silver circle. Her eyes were tired, her spirit dim. Then Liam was brought in. When she saw him, her hands trembled. "You came?" she whispered. He nodded. "I couldn't let them take you alone." A machine hummed above them, ancient, alive, floating orbs surrounded them, pulsing with light. A voice boomed in the chamber. "Begin the Soulbond trials." Trial 1. The Mirror of Truth. A wall of light formed in front of them. It showed images-memories-pains. Valar. I saw her childhood, her fear of rejection, her desperate wish for connection. Liam saw war, death, loneliness. The wall whispered cruel words. "She doesn't know your pain. He will grow bored of you. Your bond is weak." Valari reached for Liam's hand, but hesitated. He took her hand first. The wall shattered. Trial 2. The path of fear. They were thrown into darkness. Val, Ari, screamed she couldn't breathe. Liam fought off illusions monsters from his past, shadows of lost friends. Then he heard her crying. He ran toward her voice, shouting her name. She was curled in a corner, trembling, the crystal in her hand barely glowing. He knelt, placed her hand on his chest and whispered, "I'm here." Her eyes opened. The glow returned stronger. Light burst around them, burning the illusions away. Trial 3. The Choice A. Final test appeared. 2 doors. One led to safety for Liam alone. The other led to destruction if they entered together. Voice said, "Choose. Leave the other behind. Save yourself." Valari looked at Liam, tears falling. "Go," she said. "They'll never accept us. You still have a life out there." Liam looked at the door. Then he looked at her and smiled. He took her hand and walked through together. The chamber exploded in light. Their bodies floated weightless, joined by glowing threads from her crystal to his heart. All around them, the ancient machines sang. The Soulbond had passed. They had survived, and more importantly, they had proven their love was real. Far above, in the council chamber, Elder Shira stood slowly. "The Soulbond chose them," she said aloud. "We must now choose what kind of people we are." The crowd didn't cheer. They screamed. Valari and Liam stood hand in hand, still glowing from the final trial. But their triumph brought no celebration, only panic. Elders shouted. Guards rushed in. Someone yelled, "Stop them, before it spreads." The ancient chamber, filled with light and truth just moments ago, now echoed with fear. Fear of change. Fear of love between two different kinds. Valari's heart sank. They had survived the Soulbond trials, but now they were being hunted for it. "Run!" shouted Elder Shira. Valari looked back in shock. The old woman, once strict and silent, now stood between them and the angry guards. "Go!" she shouted again. "I'll hold them off. You must reach the outer valley. Only there will you be safe." Liam didn't wait. He grabbed Valari's hand and they ran through the glowing tunnels, through the high stone halls, down into the shadowed underworld of the city. The sound of boots and sirens followed close behind. Valari breathed hard. Her glowing crystal flashing like a beacon in the dark. They'll never stop chasing us. She gasped. I don't care, Liam said, pulling her forward. I'd rather run with you than live without you. They reached a hidden tunnel, carved from ancient stone. Liam slammed the door shut behind them. The tunnel smelled of dust and age. They sat down. Breathless. Vla. I leaned her head against his shoulder. I thought passing the trial would mean freedom. She whispered. It means we passed the test of the soul, Liam said. But not the test of the world, Valari smiled sadly. That one's harder. Hours passed. They moved only at night, hiding during the day. They crossed a frozen river, walked through glowing forests, and climbed steep rocks where the stars looked close enough to touch. Sometimes they didn't speak. They didn't need to. The crystal in her hand always pulsed warmly when he was near. A silent message between two hearts. I'm here. I'm yours. But peace didn't last. On the fourth night, while sleeping beneath a crystal tree, they were ambushed. A drone spotted them. A voice echoed from the sky. Surrender the girl. The bond is a danger to the order. Liam stood up, shielded. Valari, and drew his small blaster. You'll have to take both of us. The drone fired, but not at them. It hit the tree behind them, bringing it crashing down in a loud explosion. The sound echoed through the hills. They had to move again. Fast. Later that night, huddled inside a cave, Valari clung to him. Maybe they're right, she whispered. Maybe I am a danger. Liam took her hand gently and placed it over his heart. Listen to me, he said. The crystal chose me. Your soul chose me, and mine chose you without needing a light. She looked into his eyes. For once, she believed it. Not just with her heart, but with her whole being. Meanwhile, far away in the Theran capital, a secret meeting took place. Several younger council members argued. She passed the trial, one said, and a human risked everything for her. Another slammed his hand on the table. It doesn't matter. If we allow this bond, what stops others from crossing the lines too? But in the shadows, one voice whispered, maybe. It's time. Someone did. Back in the cave, Liam and Valari held each other close as a storm raged outside. I don't know what tomorrow brings, she said softly. Liam kissed her forehead. But I know you're not running alone anymore. It began with a spark. One quiet glow in the palm of a lonely alien girl. One touch from a human who didn't even know her name. And now, the galaxy was watching. On the edge of the outer valley, Liam and Valari stood at the cliffs, wind blowing through their hair. Below them was the refugee camp. Aliens from all over, outcasts, lovers, rebels, and dreamers. Word had spread like wildfire. The human and the bonded Theran girl are real. They passed the ancient trials. Their bond survived. People didn't know what to believe, but they came to see them to witness the living proof that love had no species. Inside the camp, Valari was nervous. They're staring, she whispered. They're learning, Liam replied. She held his hand. What if it's not enough? He smiled gently. Then we make it enough. Suddenly, a voice called out. Is it true? A young alien boy stepped forward. Your crystal chose a human? Valari nodded, slowly showing her palm. The blue light glowed softly, warm and alive. The boy gasped. His mother pulled him close, but not in fear. In wonder. Then everything we were taught, she whispered, was too small. Later that evening, while the stars shimmered above the valley, something unexpected happened. A ship landed. Large one. And from it walked Elder Shira, followed by 3 other council members. Gasps filled the crowd. Valari stepped forward, heart pounding. Why are you here? The old woman looked tired, but her eyes held something new. Pride. We came to apologize, she said. To witness the truth, and perhaps to change. The crowd grew silent. Elder Shira looked at Liam. You risked exile, pain, and even death. Why? He looked at Valari and answered simply, "Because love is not a mistake." Valari's eyes filled with tears. The elder nodded. "Then let this bond be the first of many." From that day forward, a change began. The Theron removed the old laws. New embassies formed between species. The soulmate crystals, once silent for generations, began glowing in unexpected ways. And in many corners of the stars, alien hearts beat faster when humans walked by. Valari and Liam became symbols of something greater than power or war. They became the face of connection, of hope, of love. 1 year later, in a quiet home near the Blue Forests, Valari sat beneath the stars, her head resting on Liam's shoulder. The crystal in her hand glowed softly. "Always. You changed my world," she whispered. He kissed her hand. "You saved mine." They looked up together. The sky stretched forever, and they weren't afraid anymore, because now they knew one bond really can change a galaxy.